Do you want the sound? TDG? When they speak, when you speak. Yeah, ngisho khona ukuthi
127 height.
Okay, media, any microphones that you want up here? Are you good?
The highest, going to be the highest.
SABC?
And this tunnel is 4.1, 4.3? 3.9.
Almost, 4 kilometers.
It's almost 4 kilometers. Okay.
3.918. Okay, guys.
Yeah, 4 kilometers. It's 4. No one will come and it's 4 kilometers long. And the Sekaba Bridge is the highest.
This is the longest. This is the longest tunnel.
Yes.
You might as well hold for a minister. Both the months.
One to assist you with this.
Okay,
No, that's fine.
give him to old minister. Okay. Okay, let's do it, guys. Let's do it.
Okay, then ready to go, guys. Let's go. Guys, you ready to go?
Minister, if you may give us an overall impression of your inspection of this.
Okay. Maybe let me start by saying that 2 weeks ago, we visited Eastern Cape and KZN. In the Eastern Cape, we visited 2 projects. In fact, some projects that Sandral is involved in. One of those is a bridge that they are building in Msikaba and Tinto. And they told us that it is the highest in the continent at 127 meters high. And they say that it's going to be the highest in the continent. And then again, the following week, we visited another project, mega project for Sandral in KZN on the N3, where again they're adding lane on the N3 to make traffic move faster than what it is the case right now. That too is a mega project, or those are mega projects. And today we are here in the Western Cape. We have visited again another mega project on the N7. And they're actually building that road, constructing that road so that it is better, probably expanding it so that the flow of transport can happen. But also taking into account that road connects South Africa to Namibia, and therefore would want to see that road being the best. We are here now. Okay, maybe from there, we then launched the 7th UN Global Road Safety, which as South Africa we are part of and therefore are participating in. We are here now to yet see and witness this yet another longest in the continent tunnel, which is 3.5 kilometers long. And for me, if this is not engineering excellence in South Africa, in my country, in your country, then I don't know what it is. So what we are witnessing here is what South Africa is capable of, things that you normally see in the most developed countries, and we're seeing that in South Africa. We've traveled through this tunnel, and in fact, if you look at it, you say, wow, this tunnel is actually carrying the whole mountain without any challenges or any risk to that. And we're very happy that this is happening in South Africa. They are here, they're accompanying me so that they can actually give you all the technical answers if there are any technical questions that are being asked. So yes, we don't want to hear about the projects to which Sandral is involved, but we want to see them. Looking at these projects, you can tell today that there are so many opportunities that have been created in terms of employment, in terms of subcontraction given to SMMEs, and I'm very happy that they are targeting women. 30% of each project is allocated to women, but also young people, disabled people. They are also enabling those learners and students who are in universities and are studying engineering to come and practice here, and probably as some of them gain experience that enable them to graduate as engineers. So I think this is doing a lot. But also, we're talking about job opportunities that are direct to projects that are taking place. But there are other indirect job opportunities that get created. For instance, they buy quarry. As long as there are these projects, it means people will continue to be employed in those quarry companies and wherever that is happening. So yes, we think that this is one other way of ensuring that our economic growth, of ensuring that we provide employment to the most needy people, because on the road here you've got the highest specialized, skilled person, but also you've got the lower specialized, in fact, unskilled person, because they are able to do the work that does not need any skill. But in the process, they get trained in doing even that job that we might regard as not that skilled. So yes, these are the opportunities that we're having here, and one is actually impressed. I'm very much happy and very much impressed that I am in South Africa. I'm not elsewhere in the world. I'm not in another continent. I am in my country, South Africa, and this is what I'm witnessing.
The building of this North Boer side of the state, when is it commissioned to take place? And also if you can give us an estimation of the amount.
He's here to tell us that.
We have heard that Sandra, there's a lot of kilometers that are transferred to Sandra for refurbishment and also management. In your budget vote, how are you looking to support Sandra? Also, how much more kilometers are you looking to transfer to Sandra? Is the 15,000 kilometers possible? If you can just elaborate.
I wouldn't want to deliver my speech here, my budget vote speech here, so that I don't have anything to say on Wednesday. I think I will just leave other things for Wednesday. However, yes, indeed, we are encouraging provinces to transfer some roads that are very strategic, that connect us to heritage sites and probably big towns. And we're encouraging them to do that, because what we now know, what we have witnessed, what we are seeing is that Sanral has that capacity to maintain and to build, to maintain their good roads so that they are always good. So first, they are already good, but they are maintained so that they continue to be good. That's what we say in Sandra: good road maintained so that they are good. And for those strategic roads, we believe that provinces can actually transfer them to Sandra. I know for sure that Northern Cape has transferred something more than 900 kilometers, and already there's budget for that. So all that we are now busy with are the logistics to say how do they take us to time where construction will start. And I think other provinces can follow suit so that we don't have our strategic roads in bad shape. And that is what we're praying for. Because with good roads, then investors will come. With good roads, then our economy is going to move. With us in transport, we don't talk about the growing of economy that people don't see. Ours, we see it on the road. We see the trucks moving the economy. And when they move slow, we know that the economy is moving literally in something that you can see, in something that you can touch. You can tell that this economy is moving slow. Things that are supposed to arrive at a particular time, they are not arriving. And people that are supposed to buy those things, they are not buying them because they are on the road, they have not reached. So we speak the literal part of growing the economy and moving the economy. And that is why when we talk about ourselves, we say we are the heartbeat. Remember, the brain can live, but when the heart stops beating, there's death. That's how doctors will confirm death. They check if there is pulse. So we say we are the heartbeat of South Africa's economic growth and social development. There is no socialization without us, because we are responsible for both the motorized and non-motorized transport. And one thing that Sandra also told us is that they're also providing for walking. That is the non-motorized transport. The walking is a mode of transport. They are providing for that. If we did not recognize it as a mode of transport, would not then have to provide any infrastructure for walking. So yes, this is what we are doing as the Department of Transport, and are very to be associated with that department. There can never be any mining without us. They can actually dig that gold, put it on the surface of the earth. But even who digs it must walk or drive or cycle to where the mine is. And then they dig, they take it out, they still have got to move it. We have to be there. So we make things happen for other people and for other departments because we are the heartbeat.
How much is that changing again? The transferring to Sandra?
Huh?
How much is that changing again?
That's a good question for us.
But you have the technical question. I think you asked the technical question. He's here.
I'll get a question in for Mr. Namana. I've got a question for you, Mr. Namana. Oh, yes. I've got a question for you. Given the President's call for infrastructure development to assist in growing the economy, where does SANRAL fit into that?
Say that again.
The President has called for infrastructure growth to assist economic growth and to boost the economy. Where does SANRAL see itself in that?
Yes. No, thank you for that question. I think firstly I want to point out that SANRAL has turned 25 years old in April. And to celebrate that birthday of ours, we decided with the new leadership, myself, the new board, as well as the new minister, to tour some of our key infrastructure investments to showcase exactly what we're saying. How does SANRAL contribute to economic development in South Africa? We started in the KZN with the N2 Wild Coast, which cuts between KZN as well as Eastern Cape. The N2 Wild Coast route will connect Western Cape into Eastern Cape into KZN. We're investing about 10 billion rand in the construction of 2 bridges, as well as a number of greenfield roads. And that will reduce travel time by between 1.5 to 3 hours along the N2 coast. And we hope that it will attract a lot of investment. I'm sure you will agree that if you drive along the coast, the Garden route, if you also drive in Durban, just south of Durban, as well as the Durban North Coast, you will see a lot of investments that has followed developments along the N2. We also took the minister along the N3, which is a lot of expansion between Pietermaritzburg and Durban, where we are adding more lanes and expanding interchanges. Between the N2 and N3 in Durban area, in KZN area alone, SANRAL is investing on behalf of government, the Department of Transport, 48 billion rands in the next 5 years. So that's a lot of investments. And to date, SANRAL is known as a very efficient and effective infrastructure delivery vehicle for government. Now here in the Western Cape on the N7, where we took the minister, we have just invested about 3 billion on the N7. That's a major route that connects Western Cape to Namibia. Yes. And of course, on the Namibian side, where I was last week, they are also doing their own developments on the same route, which will end up connecting Namibia and Angola. So it's a major connection route for SADC, the N7. But on this tunnel where we are, in opening up the so-called North Bore, we think that project will cost an estimated 4 billion. Designs will be finalized in January. We then go out on tender, but we want to see boots on the ground here by the end of next year. Last quarter of next year, 2024, we want to see construction taking place here. So overall, I think we are touring what I think the minister has rightfully said is engineering excellence, the diversity of engineering excellence. The beautiful roads on the N2, N3, the beautiful bridges, which will become iconic bridges. Msikaba being the highest bridge in Africa. Mtentu is likely to be one of the longest spanned bridge in the continent. And of course, now we are at the tunnel, which is the longest tunnel, a road tunnel in Africa. So I think really, in terms of contribution probably one of the most effective and efficient SOEs that government can point to around infrastructure delivery will be SANDRAL. And it's all thanks to the engineers that you see around, especially here led by Randall Keppel, the regional manager. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
That's it. Thank you very much, colleagues.